Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. I read a rather interesting article on World Net Daily. I'll attach the link, you're not going to have to look for it. The title is Obama Intimidating Benghazi Witness into Silence. Well, I find that to be real interesting for a whole lot of reasons. Now, what the article is about, it talks about General David Petraeus. Now, as you may or may not know, General David Petraeus was very close to what went on in Benghazi, since he headed the CIA. What this article alludes to, and the person that's making these accusations is Gohmert out of Texas. Louis Gohmert. He's the gentleman that stood up a day before the roll call to determine as to whether or not people are going to reinstate Speaker John Boehner. Why do it the day before? Totally idiotic, but that's a different story. Anyway, what this article sort of alludes to is that David Petraeus, who at that time was the director of the CIA, knew what really took place in Benghazi. And he was set up and he was silenced when his affair with the lady that was going to write a book about him and he were found to have been intimately involved. And then to make certain that David Petraeus remained silent as to what he may have known or not known, there's talk that the Department of Justice was contemplating filing criminal charges, not misdemeanor charges, felony charges against Petraeus for having divulged information to his, at that time, lover, who, by the way, also was in the military and had very high-level security clearance, probably equivalent to what Petraeus had. Now, what I find really interesting about this is that, let's assume that's true. Let's assume that Petraeus has been silenced by threats of being charged with felony counts. Well, do you think that Petraeus is the only one that might have known what was going on in Benghazi? There were 34 other witnesses that survived Benghazi that we know about. And we were told that a number of them have been put into a witness protection program. Why would that be? I've made countless videos on this topic. Why would they have been put into a witness protection program if in fact that's what happened to them? Personally, I'm kind of inclined to think that they might have been eliminated, since their testimonies could, as I had stated in the videos that I posted, MOV 01868, that Benghazi is the key. The pieces of the puzzle all fit. And I still believe Benghazi can end this nightmare. What I don't understand is why it's taking as long as it's taking to learn anything as to what really took place in Benghazi. We've had the operators that were at the CIA annex. They wrote a book. They've been on national television. They said stand-down orders were given. Not on one occasion, on two separate occasions. The only one that can give a stand-down order in a foreign country is the chosen one, Barack Hussein Hussein Obama. Nobody else can do it. He can't delegate that responsibility to anyone. So is Louis Gohmert just grandstanding? Is World Net Daily just filling airspace? I mean, I have no idea. But what doesn't make any sense to me, again, is if Petraeus has been silenced, and if he knew something, others knew something as well. Not just 34 survivors, the people that worked directly for Petraeus. It wasn't that Petraeus was the only one that could have been aware of what happened in Benghazi, Libya. Obama's actions, or better yet, his inactions, clearly prove that pretty much everything that I said in MOV 01868, Benghazi is the key that can end this nightmare. You know, it's really mind-blowing. I've made maybe 15 videos where I talked about MOV 01868. And then when I go look at the viewer count, it might have changed by 10. That is totally insane. If people cared about the country, and if they wanted to know what in all probability really happened on 9/11/12 in Benghazi, Libya, when Glenn Doherty and Tyrone Woods were slaughtered, along with Christopher Stevens and along with his aide, Smith, they'd look at that video. I don't know if people just don't care. They're too caught up in their own little world. But they're going to find out they made a big mistake by remaining in the dark. Yeah, again, I really find it disturbing, I guess is probably the word I want to use, that WorldNet Daily would post an article like this. Drew Zahn is one of their writers. He usually does a good job. I don't know why he wrote this particular article. And I wish that Louis Gohmert would spend more time dealing with the issues. He should be focused on Obamacare. The fact that there's no back end. They can't reconcile squat. They don't even know who bought it. They don't know who paid. They don't know anything. But no one has looked at that. It's just utterly amazing. I'm going to attach the link. The WorldNet Daily article. Obama intimidating Benghazi witnesses into silence. Obama couldn't intimidate anyone. It's the machinery behind him. That's what I think. So what do you think?